Most people believe manifestation is a game of words and thoughts, a daily ritual of repeating affirmations, visualizing harder, or convincing the mind that success, love, or abundance is inevitable. I am abundant. I am abundant. They say it 100 times, 1,000 times, hoping the universe is listening. But here is the hidden truth almost no one tells you. The universe isn't listening to your words. It's listening to your frequency, and that frequency is set by your nervous system. Think of your body as the first receiver of reality. Before any idea reaches the quantum field, it travels through the circuitry of your biology. Every sound you hear, every emotion you feel, every event you interpret, it all filters through your nervous system. And if that system is locked in stress, fear, or survival mode, what signal do you think you're broadcasting? Not abundance, not love, not freedom. You're transmitting chaos, and the quantum field, like a perfect mirror, sends chaos back. Neuroscience has shown this repeatedly. When the body is addicted to stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, the brain narrows its focus to threat detection. Creativity shuts down. Possibility collapses. You become trapped in what Dr. Joe Dispenza calls the predictable past, a loop where nothing new can enter because your biology believes you are not safe. And in the quantum world, safety isn't just comfort, it's permission. If your body doesn't feel safe, the field cannot deliver anything new. This is why so many people say, manifestation doesn't work for me. They visualize for hours, attend workshops, chant mantras, yet their lives remain unchanged, not because the methods are flawed, but because the receiver is jammed. Imagine trying to tune into a radio station while static drowns out the signal. You might catch fragments of music, but never the full song. Stress is that static. Until you reset the nervous system, you cannot lock onto the frequency of what you desire. Now here's where science meets the mystical. In quantum physics, coherence is the foundation of powerful phenomena. When particles are coherent, they move in harmony, creating laser beams or superconductors. When they're incoherent, energy scatters. Your body works the same way. A dysregulated nervous system is incoherence. Your thoughts say, I want abundance. Your emotions scream, I'm afraid. And your body broadcasts, I'm unsafe. The field doesn't respond to this fragmentation. It can only reflect what is unified. The true key to manifestation is not thinking harder, it's regulating deeper. When you bring your nervous system into coherence, something extraordinary happens. Heart rate synchronizes with breath. Brain waves shift from chaos to harmony. Your electromagnetic field expands, becoming a clear, powerful signal. Suddenly, the universe hears you. Not your words, but your state. So stop trying to convince the universe with affirmations while your body whispers panic. Start by calming the system that transmits your reality. Because manifestation was never about how much you think. It was always about how deeply you align. The nervous system is not just biology. It is the gateway through which you collapse quantum possibilities into your life. Reset it, and the field responds instantly. The nervous system, the hidden architect of your reality. Most people think reality is shaped by their thoughts, their choices, or their willpower. But beneath every decision, every intention, lies something far more primal: the state of your nervous system. This invisible network of cells, firing thousands of times each second, is not just keeping you alive. It is shaping the frequency you emit to the universe. And in the realm of quantum physics, frequency is everything. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, already feeling the tightness in your chest. There's an email you forgot to answer, bills to pay, a conversation from yesterday replaying in your mind. Your heart rate is slightly elevated, your breath shallow, your muscles tense. You tell yourself, today I'm going to manifest abundance. I'll think positive. But beneath those affirmations, your biology is screaming, I am not safe. And in the language of the quantum field, safety isn't optional. It's the very foundation for creation. When your body is in fight or flight, an ancient survival response designed to protect you from predators, it hijacks everything. Stress hormones like cortisol flood your bloodstream, preparing you to run or fight. Your brain shifts into hypervigilance, scanning for threats. This state narrows your perception to only what confirms danger. You stop seeing opportunities because your nervous system filters them out. To the universe, the signal you're broadcasting is not "I desire expansion," it's "I am under attack." And the quantum field, like a perfect mirror, reflects this signal back as more chaos, more urgency, more struggle. Quantum physics offers a striking parallel here. Incoherence, when particles vibrate at random, unaligned frequencies, leads to disorder and wasted energy. Coherence, on the other hand, creates phenomena like lasers, focused, powerful, transformative. Your nervous system is the same. When regulated, it becomes coherent, a clean transmitter of intention. When dysregulated, it's static, sending mixed messages that collapse into unwanted outcomes. Neuroscience reinforces this idea. The vagus nerve, a primary component of your parasympathetic nervous system, acts like a tuning dial for your internal state. When active, it slows the heart, deepens the breath, and signals to the brain, "We are safe." In this state, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for creativity, problem-solving, and envisioning the future, comes online. Suddenly, you're not just surviving, you're perceiving possibility. You can sense opportunities that felt invisible before because your biology is no longer filtering them out. Consider what this means for manifestation. The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want, it responds to what you are. And what you are, at the most fundamental level, is the frequency generated by your nervous system. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract success or love, while others struggle despite working harder, it often comes down to nervous system regulation. A calm system emits clarity, a stressed system emits noise. Here's the twist: you cannot fake this. You can repeat 1,000 affirmations, create elaborate vision boards, or visualize for hours, but if your body is locked in survival, the field won't respond as you hope. This is why so many spiritual seekers hit a wall. They treat manifestation as a purely mental game, ignoring the biological transmitter behind it. It's like trying to broadcast a symphony through a broken radio. The music might be beautiful in your mind, but what reaches the world is distortion. So how do you shift this? The answer is deceptively simple, yet profoundly transformative. You teach your nervous system safety. Practices like deep diaphragmatic breathing, meditation, and heart coherence training are not just relaxation techniques, they are frequency tuners. Each slow, conscious breath sends a signal through the vagus nerve. We are safe now. Over time, this rewires the brain, lowers baseline cortisol levels, and expands the electromagnetic field around your heart. HeartMath Institute research has shown that when the heart enters coherence, a rhythmic, ordered pattern, it creates a strong, stable electromagnetic field measurable several feet beyond the body. In quantum terms, this is a powerful broadcast. You're no longer whispering your desires into the void, you're radiating them into the field. And because coherence is contagious, this state influences not just your own reality, but the systems and people around you. Think of your nervous system as both a filter and a gateway. As a filter, it determines which aspects of reality you can perceive. A dysregulated system filters for threat. A regulated one filters for opportunity. As a gateway, it determines what signal you send to the quantum field. When the gateway is open and clear, your intentions move effortlessly into creation. When it's blocked by stress, even the clearest intention stalls. This is not just poetic language, it's physics. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect shows that observation itself collapses potential realities into form. But here's the catch. What kind of observer are you? One vibrating in fear, projecting chaos, or one anchored in coherence, inviting harmony? The nervous system decides. The implication is radical. Mastering manifestation isn't about doing more, it's about regulating deeper. Before you try to change your outer world, ask, what signal is my nervous system broadcasting right now? If the answer is tension, urgency, or fear, that's the reality you're shaping, no matter what your mind says. Shift the biology, and you shift the broadcast. When your nervous system becomes coherent, life starts to feel different. Synchronicities increase. Solutions appear seemingly out of nowhere. People respond to you differently. This isn't magic, it's resonance. You've become like a laser in a world of scattered light, and the quantum field cannot help but respond. In the end, the nervous system isn't just keeping you alive. It's sculpting the fabric of your reality. Treat it as the sacred technology it is, because when you master this inner circuitry, manifestation stops being a struggle and becomes what it was always meant to be, the natural reflection of a coherent, empowered state of being. Why most people fail at manifestation. The hidden saboteur within. They sit in circles, chanting mantras beneath soft candlelight. They fill journals with gratitude lists, attend weekend retreats promising instant breakthroughs, and whisper to themselves at night, "I am abundant, I am worthy, I am ready." Yet weeks, months, sometimes years later, nothing changes. The relationship doesn't appear, the money doesn't flow, the dream remains painfully out of reach. Is manifestation a scam? Is the universe deaf to their pleas? No. The problem isn't the practice, it's the state in which they practice. Here's the harsh, liberating truth. You cannot create a new reality from a body addicted to stress. Stress, the silent frequency blocker. Stress isn't just an uncomfortable feeling, it's a full biological state, a programmed survival mode hardwired into your nervous system. When the body is stressed, it releases cortisol and adrenaline, hormones designed to help you fight a predator or flee danger. Your heart rate spikes, your breathing shortens, your muscles tense. Evolution built this for emergencies, to save your life. But in modern life, the predators are deadlines, unpaid bills, unresolved trauma, and constant notifications. The nervous system doesn't know the difference, it just senses threat 24/7. And here's where manifestation dies. A stressed body broadcasts one unshakable signal to the quantum field: I am not safe. In quantum physics, coherence is everything. Coherence is when waves align, amplifying their power, like soldiers marching in perfect rhythm, shaking the ground beneath them. Incoherence, waves moving chaotically, cancels itself out. Stress is incoherence in human form. When you're in fight or flight, your thoughts may say, "I want abundance," but your body is screaming, "I'm in danger." The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your frequency. And a frequency of fear can't summon love. A frequency of lack can't summon abundance. It's like trying to tune into a symphony while blasting static. No harmony can reach you. Why workshops and mantras fail? This is why so many seekers get trapped in an endless cycle of self-help consumption. They repeat mantras until their throats are dry. They attend workshop after workshop, feeling briefly high during the event, only to crash back into anxiety days later. They mistake intellectual learning for energetic transformation. Because here's the thing, you cannot override a dysregulated nervous system with affirmations. You cannot convince your body you are safe while it's biologically prepared to run or fight. Imagine pressing the gas and brake of a car simultaneously. The engine revs, but you go nowhere. That's what most people do. They press the gas with their conscious mind, "I am ready for love," while their subconscious body-based fear has the brake slammed down. Love isn't safe. The result? Stagnation, frustration. Manifestation doesn't work for me. The universe as a mirror. The quantum field is neutral. It doesn't judge you, it doesn't punish you, it reflects you. If your core frequency is survival, the field mirrors survival situations back to you. Struggle, lack, drama. Not because it's cruel, but because that's the signal you're broadcasting. This is why ancient mystics and modern scientists alike emphasize inner regulation. Mystics taught stillness, presence, surrender. Neuroscience now shows why. When you shift from sympathetic, fight or flight, to parasympathetic, rest and digest, your brain and heart enter coherence. Your electromagnetic field becomes ordered. Your energy stops screaming danger and starts whispering, ready. The path forward, from stress to signal. So how do you break free from this invisible trap? You stop chasing outcomes and start regulating your state. This isn't about thinking harder, it's about tuning cleaner. Practices like breathwork, meditation, somatic release, and heart-brain coherence exercises are not spiritual fluff. They are biological recalibrations. They teach the body what safety feels like again. When the body feels safe, something magical and measurable happens. Brain waves shift from beta chaos to alpha-theta harmony. Heart rhythms stabilize, stress hormones drop, and the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for vision, creativity, and planning, lights up. Suddenly, you are not reacting to the past, you are creating from the present. This is the true gateway to manifestation. Not more effort, but more coherence. Because once your nervous system is regulated, your signal to the universe becomes clear. The quantum field can finally hear you. Opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. Synchronicities multiply. Life stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a dance. The radical shift. So the next time you catch yourself frustrated that your vision board isn't working, pause. Ask yourself, what is my body broadcasting right now? If the answer is fear, scarcity, or urgency, don't double down on mantras. Slow down, breathe, regulate. Because manifestation was never about shouting louder into the void. It was about becoming the quiet, coherent signal the universe cannot ignore. In the end, stress doesn't just block your dreams, it blocks the door to who you really are. A being capable of bending reality, not by force, but by frequency. And that is the truth most workshops will never tell you. The key to manifestation: coherence, from survival to creation. Every human being holds a latent power far beyond what they've been taught to believe, a power not found in constant effort, endless affirmations, or tireless visualization, but in the state of their inner system. The hidden key is coherence. To understand coherence, we first have to understand what happens when it's missing. Most people live their lives in survival mode, whether they realize it or not. Their bodies are locked in the fight or flight response. Hearts racing, breaths shallow, muscles tense, minds scanning for danger. It's a state evolution designed to keep us alive when facing predators or immediate threats. But in the modern world, the predators are bills, deadlines, social conflicts, and internal fears. The nervous system doesn't know the difference. It reacts as though every email is a tiger about to pounce. This survival state has devastating consequences for manifestation. When your nervous system is dysregulated, the signals you send out to the quantum field are fragmented, contradictory, and weak. Your thoughts might say, "I want to create abundance," but your body is broadcasting, I am in danger. The universe, operating like a perfect mirror, reflects what's most consistent, not your fleeting wishes, but your dominant state of being. Coherence changes everything. Coherence is what happens when the nervous system shifts from survival into harmony. Physiologically, this means the heart, breath, and brain waves begin to synchronize. The heart beats in smooth, rhythmic patterns. Breathing slows and deepens. Brain activity drops from chaotic high beta stress waves to alpha and theta rhythms, states associated with creativity, intuition, and integration. On a purely biological level, the body becomes efficient, restorative, and expansive. On an energetic level, it becomes a powerful transmitter of clear intention. Think of coherence as tuning a radio dial. Incoherence is static. You might hear fragments of the station, but mostly noise. Coherence locks you onto the frequency perfectly. The quantum field operates the same way. When your internal state is synchronized, your broadcast becomes strong, unmistakable. This is why some people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs. They are coherent. The field can finally respond to them with precision. Modern science supports this idea. Research from the HeartMath Institute has shown that coherent heart rhythms not only optimize physical health, but also generate a measurable electromagnetic field that influences both the body and the environment. Studies in neuroscience reveal that coherence fosters brain-heart integration, enabling states of flow where extraordinary problem-solving and creativity emerge. In quantum physics, coherence is the foundation of the most potent phenomena: lasers, superconductors, and quantum entanglement. When particles move in harmony, they create effects impossible for scattered particles. Your body is no different. The shift into coherence is also the moment you move from living as a victim of circumstances to living as a creator of reality. In survival mode, your focus is narrow and past-driven. What went wrong? How do I avoid pain? In coherence, the focus opens to possibility. What can I create? What new future can I choose? You're no longer trapped by the predictable past. You're shaping an unpredictable, expansive future. So how do you enter this state? It begins with regulating the nervous system. Simple but powerful practices can initiate this transformation. Conscious breathing, slow, rhythmic inhales and exhales, signals safety to the body, activating the parasympathetic rest and digest response. Heart-focused meditation, where you generate feelings of gratitude, compassion, or love, quickly brings heart rhythms into coherence, which in turn synchronizes brain activity. Over time, the body learns to stay in this balanced state more often, making coherence your default rather than a fleeting experience. Once coherence is established, intention becomes magnetic. Instead of begging the universe with scattered pleas, you're commanding it with clarity. You think abundance, feel gratitude as though it's already here, and your body broadcasts that unified signal. The field, like a cosmic algorithm, aligns reality to match. What seemed miraculous is now simply physics, internal order creating external order. This is the true secret behind manifestation. Not forcing reality to bend to your will, but becoming so internally aligned that reality cannot help but reflect you. In coherence, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop surviving and start creating. The nervous system becomes not a prison of old fears, but a conduit of infinite potential. And in that moment, the universe doesn't just hear you, it becomes you. Because manifestation was never about how hard you try, it's about how deeply you harmonize. And coherence is the doorway to everything you've been asking for. Where science meets spirituality, the new frontier of reality. Creation for centuries, science and spirituality were seen as opposing forces, one grounded in logic and evidence, the other in faith and mystery. But in recent decades, a quiet revolution has been unfolding, bridging the gap between these worlds. The result is a paradigm-shifting truth. You are far more powerful than you've ever been taught to believe. Biology, neuroscience, and quantum physics are now echoing what ancient wisdom traditions have always known, that consciousness shapes reality. And when you understand how, you unlock the ability to transform your life at the deepest level. The biology of belief. Bruce Lipton's breakthrough traditional biology long claimed that genes are destiny, that you're a biological machine programmed by inherited DNA, powerless to change your fate. But Dr. Bruce Lipton, a pioneering cell biologist, shattered that dogma with his research in epigenetics. His findings revealed that cells do not passively follow genetic programming, they actively respond to their environment. In his experiments, identical stem cells placed in different petri dishes developed into entirely different types of tissue, muscle, bone or fat, depending solely on the chemical environment. The DNA was the same, the signal from the environment made the difference. Now here's where it gets truly revolutionary. For humans, the environment that most influences our cells isn't just external, it's internal. The chemical environment of your body is shaped by your emotions, thoughts, and beliefs. Chronic fear floods the system with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which signal cells to go into protection mode, shutting down growth and repair. Love, gratitude, and joy release hormones like oxytocin and dopamine, signaling safety and expansion. In other words, your state of consciousness is programming your biology in real time. You are not a victim of your genes. You are the conductor of your cellular symphony. Neuroscience of miracles. Joe Dispenza's work on coherence. If biology shows that our inner state shapes our body, neuroscience shows how it can reshape our reality. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a researcher and lecturer, has spent decades studying how brain and heart coherence can create what most people call miracles. Coherence is the state where the brain and heart synchronize into harmonious rhythms. In this state, the nervous system is no longer locked in survival mode, but becomes a generator of new potentials. Dispenza's workshops have documented extraordinary results. People reversing chronic illnesses, manifesting opportunities they once thought impossible, and experiencing profound inner peace. These are not isolated anecdotes. They're the product of measurable physiological change. When the brain enters coherent states, alpha and theta frequencies, the subconscious mind becomes more accessible, making it possible to reprogram deep patterns. Simultaneously, a coherent heart generates a powerful electromagnetic field, measurable several feet beyond the body, influencing not only internal systems, but also interactions with the external world. Dispenza often says, "The quantum field responds not to what we want, but to who we are being." When you embody a state of wholeness, gratitude, and love, before the evidence shows up, the evidence starts to show up. Quantum physics, consciousness as the architect of reality. This brings us to the deepest level of this convergence, quantum physics. At the subatomic scale, reality behaves in ways that defy classical logic. Particles exist as waves of possibility until observed. This is known as the observer effect. The act of observation collapses a quantum wave into a definite state. What does this mean for you? It means that consciousness doesn't just witness reality, it participates in creating it. If you observe life through the lens of fear, expecting danger, lack, or disappointment, your attention collapses potential realities into those that match your expectation. The quantum field offers infinite possibilities, but you repeatedly select the one aligned with your dominant state. Conversely, when you observe from coherence, when your heart and mind are aligned in trust, gratitude, and possibility, you collapse potentials of abundance, healing, and synchronicity. Life begins to reflect a higher order because you're perceiving and broadcasting from a higher order. This isn't wishful thinking, it's physics. As Nobel laureate Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. The new synthesis, you are the bridge." When you combine Lipton's biology, Dispenza's neuroscience, and quantum physics, a profound picture emerges. Your beliefs influence your body, biology. Your state of coherence shapes your brain and energy field, neuroscience. Your consciousness collapses reality itself, quantum physics. Science and spirituality are no longer separate. They are two languages describing the same truth. You are a creator. This convergence invites a radical shift in how you live. Instead of trying to force external circumstances to change, you focus on mastering your internal state. You become the source, not the seeker. You realize that healing, abundance, and transformation are not things to chase, but natural byproducts of alignment. Imagine waking up tomorrow and choosing deliberately to observe life through coherence. You take a few minutes to breathe deeply, to feel gratitude for something as simple as the air in your lungs. Your heart rhythm shifts. Your brain calms. You walk into the day with an open, expectant awareness. Suddenly the world responds differently. A solution appears where there was a problem. A person reaches out at the perfect moment. Your body feels lighter. None of it is luck. It's coherence meeting the quantum field. This is where science meets spirituality, not in theory but in practice. It's an invitation to stop waiting for external proof and start living as the proof. Because when you do, the boundary between what is scientific and what is miraculous dissolves. There is only one reality, consciousness creating itself, and you are at the center of it. Signs. Your nervous system is blocking manifestation. When the body becomes the knot in the flow of the universe, imagine the universe as an infinite ocean, where every possibility exists in a state of pure potential, just as quantum physics describes the field of infinite possibilities. You are the ship sailing on that ocean, and your nervous system, the very first filter and receiver of reality, is your sail. When the sail is aligned and catches the wind properly, you glide effortlessly with the current. But when that sail is tangled, twisted by the inner storms of stress and fear, no matter how powerful your engine might be, your ship will stall. Many people fail to realize that the reason manifestation isn't working for them isn't a lack of willpower or belief. It is because their body is transmitting the wrong signal. Below are the most telling signs that your nervous system is locking the door to the quantum field, and why these signs are far more important than you think. 1. Constant urgency, when time becomes the enemy. That constant feeling of never enough time is a classic sign of a nervous system stuck in fight or flight mode. Neurologically, when the brain perceives threat, the sympathetic nervous system takes over. Your heart races, cortisol spikes, and your entire body braces for battle or escape. But here is the fascinating part. The universe doesn't understand the language of words. It responds to the language of energy. When you keep broadcasting, "I'm late, I'm lacking, I'm behind," the quantum field mirrors back that very lack and delay into your reality. It is as if you were unconsciously pressing the pause button on your own flow. 2. Overthinking the how, trying to control the uncertainty. One of quantum physics' core principles is uncertainty. Every particle, every event exists in pure possibility until observed. Yet when your nervous system feels unsafe, the brain does what it knows best: control. You become obsessed with the questions. How will it happen? When? In what way? Here lies the problem. By trying to force the universe into a specific plan, you shrink infinite potential down to a narrow tunnel. You become like a scientist repeatedly opening Schrödinger's box to check if the cat is alive or dead, and by doing so, you collapse possibility into limitation. 3. Emotional volatility. When the mind becomes a chaotic pendulum, if you find yourself swinging between extreme highs and crushing lows, beware. Emotional turbulence is a sign your nervous system is not in balance, what scientists call homeostasis. Modern technology can measure your heart rhythm, breathing patterns, and brain waves. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that when humans are in coherence, heart, breath, and brain waves harmonized, they emit a powerful, clear electromagnetic field that can influence their surroundings. Conversely, when emotions spike up and down, your signal becomes like a radio filled with static. No one, not even the universe, can tune in. 4. Physical tension. The body never lies. Notice your shoulders always tight, your jaw clenched, chronic back pain. This isn't random. Physical tension is stored stress you may not even be conscious of. In physics, energy never disappears. It only changes form. Stress is no different. If you don't release it, it stores in muscles, fascia, and continually sends out the signal of danger into the quantum field. You might meditate for 20 minutes each morning, but if the rest of your day your body is still contracted, the message the universe receives is still, "I am not safe." 5. Resistance to stillness, fear of the void. Where miracles happen. Be honest. Do you feel restless, even anxious, when you sit still doing nothing? Many mistake their busyness as passion, but often it's avoidance. In quantum mechanics, the void is where all possibilities emerge. It's where particles turn to waves, where the future has not yet crystallized. But to an unsafe nervous system, stillness feels like darkness, empty and frightening. So they avoid it, never letting themselves enter the quiet space where the universe can fill in with miracles. These signs aren't your fault. They're reminders that your body is seeking safety before it can open to the universe's abundance. Manifestation isn't just positive thinking, it's a biological, neurological, and energetic state. When you start listening to these signals and regulating your nervous system, you stop chasing what you want. You become it, and the universe has no choice but to reflect that back. Transforming crisis into opportunity. When chaos becomes the launchpad for a quantum leap. Here's a little-known truth. The moments when life feels like it's falling apart, when everything is unraveling, are often when the universe is opening a new doorway. Crisis, whether it's nervous system overload, career failure, or uncontrollable emotions, isn't the end. Through the lens of neuroscience and quantum physics, it's a phase transition, the shift of energy from the old to the new. Picture your body as a sophisticated electrical system. When a storm of energy hits, stress, anxiety, fear, your circuits buzz, alarms blare. Most people interpret this as malfunction, scrambling to suppress or escape it. But in reality, as in quantum physics, a system can only jump to a new state by being pushed out of its old equilibrium. Crisis, the trigger of evolution. Look at the history of the universe. The Big Bang, a massive chaos, gave birth to galaxies. In biology, every evolutionary breakthrough came from disruption at the cellular level. Biologist Bruce Lipton said, "The body doesn't change when it feels safe. It changes when the environment forces it to adapt." Similarly, your nervous system will never upgrade if it stays in its comfort zone. Neurologically, nervous tension signals that your body is preparing to rewire itself. When your heart races, breath quickens, mind spins, that's old neural pathways shaking, ready to make room for new connections. If you can regulate in the midst of the storm, you turn chaos into propulsion. And this is the essence of the quantum leap. Why quantum leaps happen in chaos? In quantum physics, an electron doesn't climb gradually from a lower orbit to a higher one. It jumps instantly when it absorbs enough energy to break free of the old state. Human lives work the same way. Crisis provides the energetic surge that pushes you beyond your old limits, so long as you don't collapse, but rather find coherence within it. Neuroquantum researcher Joe Dispenza calls this self-recreation in the present moment. He says, when you can feel peace in the middle of chaos, you're signaling to the universe that you're ready for a new reality. Step 1. Recognize, don't resist. Instead of asking, how do I get rid of this stress, ask, what is this stress telling me? What is my body trying to recalibrate? This simple shift moves you to a higher energetic tier, from victim to creator. The brain, when it receives a signal of safety, even amidst chaos, deactivates survival mode and activates the creative mode. Tools for regulation in the storm, the key to unlocking a quantum leap. 1. Heart coherence breathing. Place a hand on your heart. Inhale for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds. Imagine your breath flowing through your heart. In minutes, heart and brain waves begin to sync. 2. Inner visualization. Reset. In the storm, close your eyes and imagine yourself in a reality where your goal is already achieved. Not to escape reality, but to train your nervous system to feel safe in the new. 3. Embrace stillness. Sit quietly. Observe every sensation without judgment. This is the ultimate reset, sending the signal. I no longer fear my own emotions. Chaos, the bridge to a greater reality. Each time you move through crisis with coherence, you not only transform yourself, you alter the very signal you're sending to the quantum field. The universe, like a colossal mirror, reflects back that newfound calm and strength through unexpected opportunities, through miracles the logical mind could never predict. Remember this, crisis doesn't destroy you, it destroys the old you, so you can rise to a higher frequency. Practicing nervous system. Reset, the foundation for turning manifestation into reality. Imagine standing before an invisible door. Behind it lies every possibility, every potential you've ever desired. A dream career, a fulfilling love, a healthy body, a life of abundance. You know that door exists, but every time you reach out to open it, something stops you. Not the outside world, but your own body, your nervous system. Manifestation isn't just about what you think, say, or visualize. It depends on a deeper biological foundation, the nervous system. To open that door of potential, you need to reset it. And this process isn't abstract theory. It's a lived, embodied practice. Through every breath, every heartbeat, every sensation you create in your body. 1. Awareness. The first step to breaking the old loop. Each time you feel stressed, each moment you worry about the future, your body activates old programs, the fight or flight response. This is a survival mechanism programmed over thousands of years to protect you from danger. But in today's world, danger isn't a lurking predator. It's the unread email, the unpaid bill, or the fear of failure. Awareness of this moment is the first key. When you feel your heart racing, shoulders tightening, mind spinning with endless what-ifs, pause, simply noticing, my body is running an old program. It's no longer relevant. This alone begins to pull you out of the unconscious spiral. 2. Coherent breathing, bringing the body back to safety. Breath is the bridge between consciousness and the subconscious, between mind and body. When the nervous system is triggered, breathing becomes short and shallow, sending a danger signal throughout your physiology. But you can reverse this signal simply by breathing with intention. Try this. Inhale slowly for 5-6 seconds, hold lightly for 1 to 2 seconds, then exhale for 5 to 6 seconds. Repeat 5 to 10 times. With each cycle, you are sending a message to the brain. We are safe, there is no threat. Neuroscience shows that this rhythm activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and restore mode, shifting the body from survival to creation. 3. The I am affirmation. Not words, but a living feeling. Many people repeat affirmations like, I am wealthy, I am happy, while internally filled with doubt and tension. The universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to vibration. And vibration arises from the body's felt state. Place your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and whisper, I am. Nothing more, just, I am. I exist. Then feel the heartbeat beneath your palm, the warmth radiating, the space around you softening, becoming friendly. In this state, you stop begging the future to save you. You become the frequency of what you desire. When Joe Dispenza speaks of creating from coherence, he isn't referring to a mystical ritual, but to the moment when body, mind, and emotion unify. I am in that state is the clearest signal the universe can receive. 4. Surrender. The final step to letting the signal go. One of the biggest mistakes in manifestation is trying to control the outcome. You worry, will it happen? When? How? And this very worry drags you back into survival mode. Surrender doesn't mean passivity. It's intelligent trust, knowing you've sent out the right signal, and the universe, with its billions of possibilities, will organize the best way. Like planting a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it is sprouting. You nurture the soil and trust the process. When you surrender, you open the door to synchronicities, opportunities arising from places you couldn't predict. Quantum physics calls this superposition, countless possibilities existing simultaneously, and observation from a state of safety, selecting the most aligned reality. Resetting your nervous system isn't an optional exercise, it is the foundation of all manifestation. Awareness, coherent breathing, embodied I am, and surrender. These 4 steps transform you from a fearful petitioner to a free creator. Remember, the universe always responds to a clear signal, and the clearest signal doesn't come from a stressed mind, but from a regulated nervous system, where you and all possibility become one. The power of coherent frequency. Why the universe responds instantly. Picture yourself in the center of a perfectly still lake. Every thought, every heartbeat, every breath you take sends ripples outward. When your body is tense, those ripples are chaotic, colliding, creating distorted patterns. But when your nervous system is regulated, the ripples become steady, harmonious, and the message you send to the universe becomes unmistakably clear. This is what happens when you enter a state of coherent frequency. Your nervous system is no longer battling invisible threats. Heart, brain, and entire body function like a perfect symphony. And something extraordinary begins to unfold. What you once struggled to attain now finds its way to you naturally. In quantum physics, everything is energy, and energy carries information. When your frequency keeps fluctuating, excited one day, doubtful the next, anxious at times, hopeful at others, the universe receives only a garbled signal. Like a radio station constantly changing channels, no listener can truly tune in. But when your nervous system is stable, your frequency becomes coherent, a continuous, powerful, crystal clear broadcast. In this state, you don't need to force or demand from the universe. You become magnetic. Opportunities, people, and situations aligned with your signal start to appear, seemingly by chance. But it's not luck, it's science. Manifestation becomes effortless, no longer a battle. You may have once struggled, writing affirmations hundreds of times, attending workshops, trying every technique, only to be disappointed. Not because you lacked belief, but because your body hadn't bought into what you were trying to believe. Your body was still sending the signal, I am not safe. When the nervous system is regulated, something beautiful happens. You no longer need to pretend to believe. The feeling of safety, wholeness, and connection becomes natural. And from that foundation, your intention is sent out like a laser beam, undiluted, unwavering. You begin to notice subtle changes first. A sense of peace, even without visible results. Small signs like an unexpected email, a chance encounter, or sudden creative inspiration arriving when you least expect it. This is the universe responding to your new frequency. A daily journey, not a one-time miracle. What is essential to understand is that coherence isn't a state you achieve once and hold forever. Like a musical instrument, your body requires tuning every day. Each morning you choose deep breathing over rushing. Each time you choose listening over reacting. Each moment you place your hand on your heart and remind yourself, I am safe. You are sending a clearer, more consistent signal. And then one day you realize you're no longer practicing manifestation. You are manifestation. Your life itself, every action, every choice, every moment, becomes living proof of the power of a regulated nervous system. This is no longer vague spirituality, nor unbelievable mysticism. This is the meeting point of neuroscience, quantum physics, and ancient wisdom, and you are the living evidence of it. Let your body become the instrument in harmony with the universe. When it does, you'll no longer be waiting for miracles. You'll be living inside them. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine your body not as flesh and bone, but as a network of invisible light, an ocean of electromagnetic waves vibrating to its own rhythm. Your heart beats, each pulse sending ripples outward across a tranquil surface. Your brain, billions of neurons sparking, communicating with flashes of bioelectric light. And your nervous system, the silent conductor, directing this entire symphony of life. What few realize is that the nervous system is not just biology. It doesn't just let you stand, move, and feel. It is the bridge, the gateway between you and the infinite field of universal information. Modern neuroscientists call it the interface of reality. Research in quantum biology reveals that every electrical impulse, every neural signal your body emits, doesn't just remain within you. It radiates into the electromagnetic field surrounding you, what physics calls the field. This field then overlaps and interacts with larger fields, Earth's magnetic field, the energy field of the universe itself. Bruce Lipton, the renowned cell biologist, once said, "We are not victims of our genes. We are the result of the signals our cells receive from the environment." This means, if your nervous system is sending out the signal, I am safe, I am abundant, I am connected, every cell in your body responds by opening, healing, growing. Conversely, if it broadcasts, I am afraid, I am lacking, I am alone, your body contracts, shuts down, and the outer reality mirrors that fear right back at you. On another level, Joe Dispenza, a neuroscientist and a man who literally healed his own body, calls neural coherence the gateway to the miraculous. He has witnessed cancer patients dissolve tumors, paralyzed individuals walk again, and people trapped in financial despair suddenly encounter unimaginable opportunities. Not because of luck, not because someone rescued them, but because they tuned their inner frequency to become a signal the universe could not ignore. Why can the universe not ignore it? The answer lies in quantum physics. Everything exists as infinite probabilities until it is observed. When you observe, not just with your eyes but with your entire nervous system, from a state of fear, you collapse infinite possibilities into a limited reality where fear becomes true. But when you observe from coherence, a calm heart, an open mind, a relaxed body, you are pulling in a timeline where miracles are ordinary. The nervous system is the gatekeeper of this process. It decides whether you are transmitting miracles, come here, or door closed, do not enter. And the extraordinary truth is you can train this gatekeeper. No elaborate rituals, no chasing after exotic techniques, simply by returning your nervous system to coherence every single day. When you inhale deeply and slowly and exhale gently, when you place your hand on your heart and feel its warmth, when you release the urge to control every outcome, you are sending a message outward. I am ready. I am safe. I am connected to something greater than myself. And the universe, like a flawless mirror, reflects that back. Opportunities arise, healing unfolds, the path becomes clearer. This is why today's final message is not an empty slogan, but a vital declaration, a new affirmation of your very nature. My nervous system is my portal to miracles. Repeat it, but don't just say it. Feel it. Feel every cell agreeing with that statement. Feel your heart beating as if to remind you that you are alive. And being alive means you still hold the power to create. Feel every breath as a thread, linking you to the vast universe. Not out there, but within you. And one day, you will see, the miracle was never far away. It has always been here, hidden in the secret rhythm of your nervous system, the gateway whose key has always been in your hands.